Dun-dun-dun-dun. Waiting for the connection for both teams. Okay, now we go. The connection is set. Hello everyone, once again, Game 2 action. It's Kenzie Wonderdrift broadcasting, shoutcasting, FSL Season 5, Female Dota 2 Southeast Asian League Season 5. It's Where to Feed versus Vengeance, Game 2 action. Where to Feed from the Philippines against Vengeance. Well, I don't know what country they belong. They do belong in the Southeast Asian region, that's all I know. So we're back in action. Now Where to Feed, going for the usual bans that they had in Game 1. Negating 2 potential damage dealers, depleting HP heroes, Necrophos and Viper. 2 meta heroes since TI7. Necrophos, Viper. And of course I've seen a lot of complaints about the Viper nerf and the Necrophos nerf. As for Team Vengeance, oh, they're gonna opt for the Witch Doctor, provide more AoE damage. They've already banned the Silencer because they've known that they couldn't execute their abilities well in Game 1 because of the global silence. And they don't like the Lich to provide that sort of damage with the Chain Frost and some further sustainability with the Frost Armor, so they do negate those 2 heroes. I mean, we've seen in Game 1 that Where to Feed, they took advantage of the global silence, and then it frantically caused Vengeance to disrupt their game plan. I mean, sure, that there was the Chronosphere was set, but it wasn't the most important of all Chronospheres, or the most devastating of all Chronospheres. I mean, the Chronospheres were just hitting on like 1-2 targets for Vengeance, and they do want to maximize that, so I might see another Faceless Void pick for Team Vengeance. That's why they've banned the Silencer. They want to create space needed, as Where to Feed have opted with the same bans, Viper, Necrophos, but the same pick, which is the Earthshaker. I mean, in the first game, that was their first pick, the Earthshaker. So right now the Silencer was banned, and in Game 1 the Silencer was the second pick for Where to Feed. Now that it's banned, the Silencer is banned, let's see who could be potential picks for Team Where to Feed. They could go for a Rubik, because Rubik is capable of providing flexibility. Now they go for an Ogre Magi. So you do have Earthshaker. Oh, Spirit Breaker chosen by Team Vengeance. We have a roaming advantage for Team Vengeance. I mean, in Game 1, they love to roam around the map, Team Vengeance. Because the fact is this. In Game 1, they were pressuring on Kokiri on the top lane by roaming around their supports. They also did the same in the mid lane against Midjoy. So we might see a repeat strategy here, but this time with the Spirit Breaker. Now, Spirit Breaker can roam from one area of the map in just seconds. I mean, she doesn't need to roam around and take a lot and consume a lot of time. All it takes is a charge of darkness. He could go in one area of the map anytime. Now, Where to Feed, 3 heroes already out. 3 heroes that could deal excruciating amounts of HP depletion. Viper, Necrophos, and the Venomancer. Now they've banned one of their signature heroes, the Tinker. And of course, they've already banned 4 heroes that could deal a lot of damage. They also did the same in Game 1. They've banned nearly 4 heroes: Invoker, Venomancer, Viper, Necrophos. So they really, Where to Feed, if you look at the tactical analysis of this team, they don't like to deal with heroes that can give or obliterate you with these magical assaults. So I think that's what they're doing right now. And as for Team Vengeance, they've banned the Puck and the Nyx Assassin. We've seen that ban in Game number 1. Obviously, they want to maximize their magical assaults, which explains why they've banned both the Puck and the Nyx Assassin. They also don't want to be caught in the middle of a clash where they can't win. And they want to disrupt that Dream Coil process. That's why they banned the Puck as well. So Earthshaker, Ogre, Magi, we still don't know if this Earthshaker is still an offlane Earthshaker like we've seen in Game 1 for Where to Feed, or this could be an Earthshaker that could go for position 4 as Disruptor gets chosen. So we do have a pick-off strategy for Where to Feed, which they lacked in game number 1. I mean, they do have the initiation, but they don't have an individual pick-off hero. And like what I said, I mean, the Bat Rider and the Silencer in game 1 could be devastating for the Faceless Void. So right now, Where to Feed, they've already addressed that issue, gone for the Disruptor. Remember, the Glimpse Back could be a crucial starting point of initiation for Where to Feed. Then, I mean, Disruptor plus Earthshaker, that's a devastating combination. I mean, Where to Feed, like in game 1, I mean, they rely a lot on these AoEs from the Blood Rite, from the Bloodseeker, and then combine the Mass Serpent Ward, so they provided sort of an Earthshaker Echo Slam, so they do love these AoE assaults. Now Vengeance going for the Wind Ranger, which could potentially be a mid lane as Phantom Assassin gets chosen. So with the Wind Ranger, with the Spirit Breaker, and the Witch Doctor, look at Team Vengeance's lineup. They could stop anyone from Where to Feed from running away. The Spirit Breaker can chase you down, Witch Doctor can stun you, poison you as well, Wind Ranger can pull you to the trees, and you wouldn't be able to escape from that. The Shackle Shot, goodness gracious, how could you run away from that? But if you look at it, your initiation play, if you're Team Vengeance, you have to be careful, because as long as there's Disruptor, it might go off. Like in game 1, we've seen the initiation or the timing of abilities from Vengeance off because of the Silencer. Maybe we could see that in game 2, but this time with a Disruptor. I mean, if you're stuck in that static and kinetic field, can you make a difference there? Now the 4th pick for Vengeance. We don't know what this Wind Ranger is. Spirit Breaker could go for position 4, Witch Doctor for position 5, and Wind Ranger at the 2. So they are missing a hard carry or an off lane, although Wind Ranger could go off lane or Spirit Breaker could go off lane. We still don't know what they have to offer in their arsenal. Okay, next pick, already 30 seconds left for them to pick a hero. Who's it going to be? Queen of Pain chosen. One of the most versatile heroes, one of the heroes very difficult to deal with because of the mobility she possesses. They have a mobile lineup, Team Vengeance. Spirit Breaker, he could roam around the map anytime. Wind Ranger runs away with speed. Queen of Pain, blink in, blink out. But of course, if you're Where to Feed, you can negate that mobility with the Disruptor. And I think that's why if you look at Team Vengeance, they banned the Puck. Because the Puck provides that AoE anti-mobility with the Dream Coil. And you don't like that to happen, which is a living nightmare. I'll just refresh the Twitch chat. So far, I'm having problems with the Twitch chat. Sorry, my apologies for the Twitch chat. I wouldn't be able to provide the necessary shoutouts, but let's go back in action. Lifestealer out of the picture. So that's 5 damage heroes, burst damage heroes out of the mix. If you look at the bans of Where to Feed, that's the same strategy that they did in game number 1.
10 seconds remaining.
So I think Where to Feed, they don't like these sort of heroes, these these burst damage sort of heroes. And other teams could capitalize on that. I mean, they could go for heroes that rely a lot on sustainability to annihilate Where to Feed. So of course the final ban about to set, it's the Sven. We've seen that ban from game number 1. I don't know what's with the Sven, why Vengeance seem to dislike that hero. Maybe because the Sven does provide that sort of counter assault with the Warcry and the Stormhammer. Also necessary to chase down anyone from Team Vengeance. So Team Vengeance, they don't like heroes that could chase them down. Nyx Assassin, Puck, Sven, now they go for the Slark. So they are going for a really agile lineup here, Team Vengeance. Now where to feed. Now we're going to wait for their final pick. It does make sense for them to go for... I was thinking of Faceless Void because, you know, you want to negate this mobility. But if you're going to go Faceless Void, that will make Phantom Lancer at... Phantom Assassin, I mean, at the 2 and Void at the 1, which we don't normally see nowadays. Although Void works well with the Earthshaker, but of course you want to negate this mobility from Team Vengeance, which you want to capitalize through the Faceless Void. I mean, they could go for Invoker, because Invoker can also deal with this mobile lineup. I mean, EMP could potentially disrupt this mobility from Team Vengeance. Combine that with the Tornado, and you wouldn't run away. And then there's the Ice Wall. The Ice Wall to slow you down. So who's going to be your final pick? So Invoker, that's my possible opinion for where to feed. Anti-Mage chosen. So mid-hero possibly. Midjoy going for a Phantom Assassin. Mika as a Disruptor. Yell as the Ogre Magi. Chizuru with her signature hero, the Earthshaker. That means Kokiri goes for the Anti-Mage. As for Vengeance, Shanicha, Slark, Anti-Boy Boys Club as the Queen of Pain, Self-Inflicted, Wind Ranger, Miss R, Spirit Breaker, Guardiola as a Witch Doctor. Oh, there's a switch. Midjoy goes for the Anti-Mage and Kokiri goes for the Phantom Assassin. Definitely Midjoy gonna go in the mid lane. Gonna go against the Queen of Pain, which is a major pain for the Anti-Mage because of that poison damage from the Queen of Pain. So I'm not sure if Midjoy is going to have a fun time farming against the Queen of Pain. So I wouldn't be surprised if Disruptor goes in the mid lane, or if the Ogre Magi goes in the mid lane, or even Chizuru goes in the mid lane for Midjoy. So Scherza Scarlet is, I think she just changed her name to Mika to make things more easy to say, which I kind of prefer.
Prepare for battle.
So far, where to feed. Let's see the positioning. Mika on the bottom lane together with Yell. Very unusual combination. 2 supports in 1 lane. Actually, I think they're going to make Kokiri give... No, it makes sense because they want to make Kokiri some space needed to farm. So you have 2 supports, but no, I think Yell's going to go mid. I don't know what the positioning reveals yet. Still too early. Okay, Midjoy goes for the Phantom Assassin. It's a last minute change. Oh my. So Midjoy as the Phantom Assassin. Definitely going to go mid. But chances are she's going to go against Queen of Pain. And whether you pick Phantom Assassin or Anti-Mage against the Queen of Pain, it's still a painful experience because of the poison. The Shadow Strike is enough together with a Blink. So far, like in game number 1, there's no aggressive bounty assaults. It's still a patient bounty game. So Vengeance already securing their bounty area. Same goes with where to feed. Now a brawl is about to begin. Let's see. 2, 1, and the sun rises and the brawl begins. Oh, Miss R in the mid lane. This is quite odd. Or Anti-Boy Boys Club. Okay, okay. It was too early to tell. Miss R is not going to mid lane, although it would be interesting to see a Spirit Breaker at mid, which only happens in public games, not in, you know, in the amateurs or the professional leagues. Although if you think I'm wrong, then well, just say it. But of course, you can see the hesitance from Midjoy. Remember, she's going up against the Queen of Pain with that poison strike, and look at that, 2 denies already. And Midjoy might have a difficult time. So Vengeance might win the mid lane and the top lane. Chizuru being the off lane, so far she did okay in game number 1, but this is a major challenge. You have the Spirit Breaker who can traverse a lot of cliffhangers. You have Shanicha. You can jump forward out of the danger zone. Even if the Fisher blocks the path, you could jump in further forward. Now Yell, knowing that Chizuru might be in a lot of trouble, is definitely going to help and provide that cover support in the off lane. Guardiola stacking up the creep camps in there and providing the necessary cover. And the dual lane in the bottom lane for Team Where to Feed with Mika and Kakari against Self-Inflicted. Self-Inflicted having a difficult time. I think it's the pressure coming from Mika that's doing a damage here for Self-Inflicted. And like in game number 1, Kakari is just, you know, dominating Self-Inflicted in the farming phase, which is happening right now. As right now, Self-Inflicted runs away, manages to keep herself alive. Chizuru all by herself in the top lane as Kakari draws first blood on Self-Inflicted. The blink out of nowhere, and I thought Self-Inflicted is gonna survive there because, you know, she ran away with a wind run, but no, the timing of the blink from Kakari catches her off guard. Now Mijoy, as expected, struggling here in the mid lane. You can see Lassiter denies, says, boy, my goodness gracious, Witch Doctor gets killed in there by the Nurture Creep. Wow. All the heroes, it has to be the Nurture Creep. Anyway, Self-Inflicted indeed struggling. The pressure from the Ogre Magi too much. Burning her alive as Mika. Oh dear, there's a lightning ball on her face. Mika already activates a Thunder Strike and Self-Inflicted might go down. There's another baseball on Self-Inflicted. Oh, it's burning her alive together with that ball of lightning on her head. Oh dear, but she manages to keep herself alive. Yes, she does manage to keep herself alive, but nearly died in there by this excruciating laning disaster caused by Yell and Mika. Chizuru doing well so far. No, I was expecting her HP to be depleted with this tri-lane assault in the top lane, but so far it's not gonna happen. But the biggest concern is Mijoy is struggling here in the mid lane, and Anti-Boy Boys Club is having the best farm of her life. I mean, like what I said, it's the Poison Shadow Strike that's really gonna give Mijoy a living nightmare. I mean, in game 1, you know, Mijoy was pretty okay against Anti-Boy Boys Club. But so far, it's not going to be easy for her. But she's going to get wrapped around here. There's Guardiola and Miss R. A single charge from Miss R might obliterate Mijoy to shreds. But Miss Mijoy, Anti-Boy Boys Club, already jumping forward. There's the blink, but the charge out of nowhere. Mijoy in a lot of trouble. Here comes the support. Mika activates a glimpse back. Manages to keep Miss R out of space. Now Anti-Boy Boys Club charging further forward. She doesn't have H mana. Oh, Mijoy gets killed. The poison, the shadow strike by Anti-Boy Boys Club, enough to do the damage there. Even if Mika came to the rescue to glimpse back, it's not going to be enough. Mijoy goes down, and that's an important kill there for Team Vengeance. Sorry about that. Something was stuck in my mouth. Now Chizuru in the top lane. Another wraparound could potentially happen here. Nope, it's not going to happen. It's just a warding face. Level 5 for Anti-Boy Boys Club. She's dominating the lane. 20-9 is the score. Mijoy still level 4. This could be a momentum needed for Team Vengeance. And you know what happens when the Sonic Wave is set? Anti-Boy Boys Club can make a lot of damage and impact in the game. Miss R not going to get killed in there. I thought she was gonna die, but they might go in the mid lane to gank Mijoy for the nth time. There's the shrine. We might see a gank on Mijoy anytime. Or in Mika, if Mika gets caught. Mika's still level 2. There's a smoke. Actually, not a smoke, but Mika gets charged in there. Remember, she's still level 2. There's a stun on the Witch Doctor. I mean, casted by the Witch Doctor. Mika might go for the shrine. No, she doesn't activate the shrine. Manages to keep herself alive. But here come the reinforcements. Here's Yell. Let's see if she's going to throw a baseball. There's the glimpse back to the danger zone. There's a stun. Mijoy charging further forward. Oh dear, the charge of darkness keeps her alive. And who's the target? It's Kakari. Kakari could blink out. Does she have a blink? Yes, she can blink out. But no, Miss R just says she's going to do some patient game in there. But of course, with Mijoy going in that area, that leaves space for Anti-Boy Boys Club to push in the mid lane. So that's not good news if you're Mijoy or Where to Feed. Top lane, still steady, but Shanicha... Actually, Shanicha is having a good farm here in the top lane. Even especially without Miss R, as right now self-inflicted gets pressed on here. There's a lightning ball on her head, but so far it's not going to be enough, and Miss R is there to provide that sort of cover needed. So far, Cockery doesn't seem to care the damage of self-inflicted. It doesn't provide that sort of nuisance to her. Now Midjoy already with a double damage rune, blinking in, but remember she's on a level gap, which is not a good sign if you're a Midjoy or if you're a mid lane hero. Now she's level 6. I think a single sonic wave could obliterate her to shreds. Remember, she does have support from Guardiola. Guardiola's still level 2. I mean, of course, Guardiola with that stun, and even this, wow, Maledict and the Shadow Strike. That might be, Midjoy might be, well, she might say a prayer with those 2 spells to cast it on her. So you wanna keep yourself alive if you're Midjoy. I mean, they could, I like the lineup of Vengeance, really meant to deal with this. I didn't know where to feed opted for this Phantom Assassin pick. I mean, there's a Sonic Wave on Midjoy. Midjoy might go down from that Poison Touch here. Does he have the health needed? Cockery gets a kill and self-inflicted. Midjoy, oh, she manages to keep herself alive. Goodness gracious, the timing of the magic wand was enough to keep her alive there. But, well, Midjoy does keep her head up. But, well, obviously getting pressured a lot in the mid lane. I mean, if you look at Vengeance's lineup, it's really meant to deal with the Phantom Assassin. Like, I didn't know why they opted for the Phantom Assassin when, you know, there's a Witch Doctor, you know, with the 3rd skill could potentially annihilate you. And then they opted for another counter, which is a Queen of Pain. So Midjoy, let's see what she can do here. She does have support needed. She needs support right now. Look, 21 last hits. No denies yet for Midjoy. Compared to Anti-Boy Boys Club, 40-9. That's not a good statistic. It's a bad news, as right now the Smoke Gank, Mika Yell could go for a glimpse back on Anti-Boy Boys Club, because Anti-Boy Boys Club is just moving around the map as Self-Inflicted gets a kill on Cockery. Mika too late to the rescue. Now Miss R next on the list. Nope, she's not next on the list. She still survives. But of course, Space created a Shanicha in the top lane having a free farm. 70-19 is the last hits in the nights compared to the Earthshaker 30-0. But obviously Earthshaker doesn't really stand a chance against the Slark in terms of physical damage. I mean, magic damage, Earthshaker could potentially threaten the Slark because of the Echo Slam Fisher. But other than that, it's not going to be efficient. As right now, Cockery bearing too aggressive here. He has Mika for support, but a Charge of Darkness might come out of nowhere. Guardiola doesn't have a lot of escape options because she doesn't have mana. The blink out from Cockery keeps herself alive. Mika next on the list. She gets assaulted in there. One more hit, she's going to go down. No, the arrow misses from Self-Inflicted. Oh, the power shot misses. And right now Self-Inflicted chases Mika. And the anti-mobility set with a kinetic field, but it doesn't find a target. But Cockery charging further forward, gets a Void Assault in there, but down she goes from the Sonic Wave. Now, oh dear, Chizuru gets killed in there. Her timing there was off and gets obliterated by Miss R together with Anti-Boy Boys Club. But of course, while that's happening, Midjoy, seeing that the Queen of Pain is at the bottom lane, now if she could capitalize on her absence here in the mid lane, but let's face it, she could get obliterated with this Spirit Breaker and this Queen of Pain Assault if they try to negate Midjoy's farming progress here in the mid lane. So far isn't really the case yet, but if ever that's going to be the situation, which I think might happen at any time. Okay, not really. Midjoy is a bit tactically aware of the positioning of Vengeance. So far, it's not looking good for where to feed, especially with the situation of the Phantom Assassin, as Cockery gonna go on Self-Inflicted. There's a glimpse back, there's a lightning bolt on her head, Yale activates a stun. Oh, here comes the reinforcements. But of course, Guardiola activates. Guardiola might go down, but so far doesn't keep herself down. Now Miss R. Mika dies for the second time in a row. Now Shanica Kakuri getting pressing on self-inflicted there. There's the mana break on self-inflicted. Self-inflicted runs away. But here comes a reinforcement. I didn't see this in the bottom lane. Chizuru out of nowhere activates his Echo Slam Fisher combination. Gets a kill in there from Miss R. Now Shanica next on the list. If he could run away here. Kakuri's there with a large. Shanica has no escape in there. She doesn't have mana. She goes down. And also low HP. Does go down and obliterated to shreds in there. Of course, Midjoy seeing this her opportunity to farm. Remember, she's down. Right now, she's down by only 10 points against Anti-Boy Boys Club. And look at this. This is what the space needed. I mean, Vengeance opted to go in the bottom lane to create some sort of momentum at their favor. Now, Midjoy, that leaves Anti-Boy Boys Club. That forces her to go in the bottom lane. Midjoy, on the other hand, knowing that she's struggling, says, I'm just going to stay in the mid lane. I'm not going the bottom lane because I need to farm. Which is a right strategy, because if you look at where to feed. So far, they've managed to keep themselves alive. As right now, Miss R, there's a stun. She's in the middle of danger out of nowhere. Oh, the timing of the static and kinetic field to prevent that sort of space creation for Team Vengeance. Now the assault is happening as Yale. Oh, the Sonic Wave. 3 heroes down for Team Where to Feed. It looks like Team Where to Feed had the momentum with the static and kinetic field. No, it doesn't work for them. Anti-Boy Boys Club with the haste rune out of nowhere obliterates anyone from Where to Feed to shred. Now Midjoy, the pressure is on her. She didn't go in the bottom lane because she needs to farm. Now, the question is, will her farming pay dividends here? She has 2 Mithril Hammers. She's going to go for a Desolator. And of course, we've seen a Phantom Assassin with the Desolator from Raven in TI7. And remember what it did. Obliterated everyone. 19 kills for Raven with that Desolator assault. As right now, Midjoy gets assaulted. Miss R, then venture further forward, knowing that there's an anti-mobility hero, which is Mika.
Every coin helps.
So right now, let's see. Miss R going for an Urn of Shadows, so they are... Okay, their lineup is really meant to deal with Midjoy, as Midjoy gets fired here by Shanica. There's the assault from Shanica. Midjoy in a lot of trouble. Charge of Darkness about to set. There's a Shrine. Can she make it? No, she doesn't make it. But if you look at it, their lineup, even the items, the Urn of Shadow, they could deal with Midjoy anytime, even with the Desolator. So, I mean, the Desolator did make an impact, can make an impact. That's right now, as you can see here, Miss R charging further forward. Here's Kakuri. Oh, static and kinetic field to create some space needed. A defensive stance here. Kakuri, Echo Slam right to the face. Goodbye. Oh, Shanica next on the list. But Kakuri about to die in here. But of course, Anti-Boy Boys Club, the blink, the timing of the blink. Oh, dear goodness gracious. Combine it with a glimpse back. Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness gracious. I like what Mika did there. Blinking out of danger goes to Anti-Boy Boys Club. But Mika says, no, you're going to get blink. You're going to get glimpse.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Sorry about the Twitch chat. I was just checking the Twitch chat. Still having issues with it. So let's go back in the middle of action. Kakuri. Broadsword. Claymore. Aha. This is going to be devastating with the sort of damage items. Battle Fury next on the line. That's going to add more pushing prowess. And if she has a Manta style, it's going to be more devastating as Chizuru gets caught in there. You need to activate the Shrine because you don't know Miss R is there and she goes down. Of course, the Fisher blocks her way. Wouldn't be able to go to the Shrine because of the Fisher. So a slight net worth lead in favor of Vengeance. 1k. So far, it's still evenly matched for both teams as the tier 1 tower in the top lane is about to go down. So Joy, does she have her, what do you call this, a Desolator? Now Yell, oh, the stun on Miss R. And now there's another stun. Activates a Veil of Discord for Mika. Of course, certainly they would like to run away because they don't know the Earthshaker is there to provide that sort of damage. Smoke set. Does she have a Desolator? Not yet. Oh, self-inflicted, caught in there. Of course, she doesn't have the mobility. That's 4 heroes already surrounded by the kinetic field. She can't run away from that. Now Kokiri seen. No, she blinks out there. Manages to get the rune steal. Yeah, she has to run away. She's gonna get chased in here. Another blink out. And Miss R couldn't be able to contain her mobility. So far, here's Yell to the rescue, but I'm not sure she's aware of Sonic's. Yell dared to sacrifice her life to give space for Kokiri to live on. She does live on. But who's the next target? It's Mika. Miss R targeting Mika. Activates the ultimate on Mika. Goodbye, Anti-Boy Boys gets a kill there for Mika. So far, it's still a pretty evenly matched, but so the objective's already taken as Kokiri gets pressed on here, blinks out. Now Midjoy, does she have the Desolator? Not yet. She's still waiting for the right time to get that Mithril Hammer. Trying to patiently wait for it. But so far, if you're Vengeance, you did a good job in taking the objectives. Tier 1 tower in the mid lane down, Tier 1 tower in the top lane down, Tier 1 tower in the bottom lane down. So that space created for a push needed. Of course, with that push, that sort of gives them momentum. And I think the reason why they could push the lanes is because of Miss R's presence here. I mean, Miss R could just roam around the map from top, bottom, mid, even anti-boy boys. I mean, they've timed their counter assaults well, that Where to Feed are having a difficult time in defending these counter initiations. So it's really paying dividends for them. Because, I mean, sure, there's a static and kinetic field to disrupt the play, but when it's gone, that's where they say, okay, we can just blink in the middle of nowhere and catch you off guard. Of course, we could obliterate you to shreds. And right now, self-inflicted might be surrounded here. Gonna go for a 4-staff. Joy, not yet with a Desolator. I think they're trying to find the right moment to get that Desolator. But and we've seen how devastating a Desolator is with a Phantom Assassin. Self-inflicted, charges in, gets charged on actually. But of course, Midjoy, there's a stun, shackle, Kokiri there, but oh, here comes Shanichi, she's invisible. Oh, Kokiri gets a kill in there. But of course, Shanichi looking at Yell, poor Yell, he's a single Sonic Wave. Doesn't need a Sonic Wave as Chizuru goes for an Echo Slam. Oh my goodness gracious. Now Shanichi pressuring on in Chizuru. Chizuru gets caught in there. There's a stun. Chizuru gets killed. Midjoy next on the list. Sonic Wave set. Of course, they're targeting Midjoy. They were saving the Sonic Wave on Midjoy because they know Midjoy is vulnerable from the Sonic Wave. Able to not get that kill in there. 3 down for Where to Feed. Of course, where Anti-Boy Boys Club has the double damage rune, so that proves more damage in there. Besides the Sonic Wave and of course the Screaming and the Shadow Strike, she has the double damage rune, so she could add some additional damage needed to obliterate the entire Where to Feed roster. So they've already secured those 3 kills. I mean, they do have a lot of devastating follow-up damage if you're Team Vengeance. With the Maledict, with the Shadow Strike, and then she can charge, and then they could charge further forward with the Charge of Darkness. So I really like the follow-up. And then of course you have that pounce. That pounce is enough to prevent you from running away. So if you look at it, it makes sense why they banned the silencer, and because with that silencer, they know that they wouldn't be able to execute their counter initiations well, because we've seen that in the first game. The silencer paid dividends there. And it didn't create space for Team Vengeance. I mean, the timing of their spells were late because of the global silence, but here in Game 2, they've already timed their spells efficiently. Sure, there's a kinetic field, but so far the kinetic and static field combination has only been limited in this game. We haven't seen its major impact yet. Now the objectives here are going to get taken. Shanichi, Shadow Blade already at her disposal, which explains why she's not easily seen. And if you look at Where to Feed, they're desperate to take objectives. So they ventured in the top lane Tier 1 tower. Now they're going to go in the Tier 2 tower as Kokiri gets caught in there by the shot. But blinks out. But of course, Anti-Boy-Boys Club in a lot of trouble. Here's Miss R, but she doesn't know Miss R. She's caught in the trap in there as Midjoy charges in further forward with the Desolator damage. Now she's gonna go for a Black King bar, which allows her to negate all these magical assaults. Cockery, look at that, blinks in forward. Oh, there's the mana break. Echo Slam right to the face, misses, but here Midjoy gets another kill. Mika gets a kill on Shanicha. The damage, the glimpse back there, caught in the static and kinetic field, gets a kill on Shanicha. Shit, that's a huge kill there, and that could be a huge momentum builder. That's right now self-inflicted, trying to create space needed by pushing in a mid lane. So of course, self-inflicted items at her disposal. Force Staff, she does keep her mobility intact with the Force Staff and combine that with the Wind Run. So far, you can see Cockery already pressured, so she's forced to go in the mid lane together with the other heroes. Where to feed, knowing that they could be vulnerable in any push in any lane, have opted to, you know, retreat further back. Although they could have taken this tier 3 tower, but it's going to be quite risky for them. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, tier 2 tower here surviving. So far the objectives are slowly going in favor of Where to Feed. Just like in game number 1, we thought that Vengeance, you know, they've taken the objectives initially in the game, but so far, momentum slowly swinging to Where to Feed. It's going to be more devastating if this Black King bar is in Midjoy's disposal already, because that negates all the magical damage of the Sonic Wave. Combine that with the Witch Doctor's abilities. The cost definitely is a major issue, together with a Maledict. Of course, she has to time the BKB well before those spells can obliterate her to shreds. And so far, Where to Feed already aware of the positioning of Vengeance. Now they're going to go for a counter assault with a smoke gank. So far, they weren't caught here by the Sentry Ward. Or were they caught in here? Shanicha might be surrounded here. A single. Oh, caught in the static and kinetic field. Silenced to death. Stunned. Now activates her ultimate to keep herself alive. She does manage to keep herself alive. The Shadow Blade did manage to keep her alive. But of course, Sentry Ward wasn't able to catch her. Shanicha lives and tells her own tales of how she survived. Thank goodness, she said to herself. Now mid lane. So far it's still very stale yet. Goals 1k net worth still in favor of Vengeance. So far in both games it looks as if a Team Vengeance are just dominating, but so far it's looking like, oh, it's quite an evenly matched. Cockery has the Lincoln Sphere, which makes it so difficult for her to get assaulted, as right now a brawl as Miss R gets killed, Shanicha gets a kill, and there Chizuru with an Echo Slam, combine it with a kinetic field, and a Witch Doctor for the first time I've seen her ultimate, the Death Ward, but it's not paying any dividends. Oh, another obliteration on Team Vengeance, as Anti-Boy-Boys Club forced to retreat there. Of course, they weren't prepared, they weren't expecting this assault from Cockery out of nowhere. Blinks in, the Lincoln Sphere protects her, keeps her alive. Combine that with the Battle Fury and Midjoy with the Desolator. Thank goodness that Team Vengeance has to be thankful that there's no BKB yet, because that would make Midjoy unstoppable, and she could venture further forward and even obliterate Anti-Boy-Boys Club if she was caught in there. Now look at this, Cockery with the damage items needed. Now momentum slowly swinging to Where to Feed, blinks out to keep herself alive. Oh, Miss R charging in, Mika. There's the glimpse back, Miss R, all thanks to the glimpse back, keeps herself alive. But no, Shanicha has found someone, but she's caught in the static kinetic field combination. She does manage to keep herself alive. Nearly died in there because of the static and kinetic field combination. Now Cockery, Miss R. Look at this. Cockery eating all of Miss R's mana. Oh, mana break set. But of course caught in there by the shackle. But of course a Fisher might block off, but it doesn't work. The block is missed. Cockery, her skill streak is over. And that's going to be a huge boost without that carry that's killing Team Vengeance. Without that sort of mana consumption or mana eating that the anti-mage is doing, now they could push forward. So they've already taken the tier 2 tower in the mid lane. They've already taken the tier 2 towers in both the mid and the bottom lane. Now they could knock on the doorstep here in the tier 3 tower. Yale already throwing a baseball, and of course self-inflicted. Look at that damage from the Desolator caused by Midjoy. Forced to retreat, self-inflicted. If she gets caught by a blink in there, oh no. Not enough, but there's a glimpse back in there. There's a stun. There's a lightning bolt into her face. There's a Fisher. Goodbye, self-inflicted. You did. The name does speak for herself, as she does inflict self-damage, just by, you know, jumping in, I mean not jumping in, but walking in, walking out. She does go down. Okay, let's see what happens here. Top lane. Wonder what Miss R has to offer here, but remember, okay, Smoke Gang said they're gonna go for a Roshan here. They need to plant ward to provide this Roche defense. There's some sentry ward set there. Now they are gonna go for this. Midjoy is definitely gonna get this Roshan. Question is, will Team Vengeance venture through this Roche pit and defend this area? Because it looks like, wow, look at Roshan already obliterated in seconds as Midjoy gets the Aegis of the Immortal. So they could now push with that Aegis of the Immortal. I'm not sure if they have a counter push here if you're Team Vengeance. Let's see. Do they have a counter push? Well, Slark could be that counter push together with or Spirit Breaker, because Spirit Breaker, like what I said, very mobile, very versatile in movement. He could go in the top, middle, and bottom lane instantly. And then Shanicha with the Shadow Blade could hide in the tree lines as, oh dear, what kind of drawing is this? Anyway, Shanicha could, you know, hide in the tree lines with a Shadow Blade and provide that sort of damage and insult to injury to anyone from Team Where to Feed. Of course, they have to be cautious. Anti-Boy Boys Club has 2 items. There's the Veil of Discord and the Orchid of Malevolence, which is very helpful in team fights of silence, and some burst magic damage might pay a difference there in any 5-on-5 assaults. So far, they just went around, they rotated mid lane, they tried to push, but so far they didn't. They now go in the bottom lane here. Tier 2 tower in the bottom lane about to fall. It looked as if Vengeance has the momentum, as right now Cockery charges on self-inflicted. Miss R providing that intel. If she gets caught in there, she's in a lot of trouble. Mika, there's a ward. I think Miss R gets caught in there. There's the sentry ward. If ever, there's Shanicha. I'm not sure if Shanicha is aware of this, but there's a sentry ward out of nowhere. Shanicha goes here. She's in a lot of trouble. No, she doesn't. Very smart of her. Another sentry ward for Shanicha. Now Midjoy. Look at that. Desolator, Black King Bar, Aegis of the Immortal. She charges forward on Shanicha. Look at that. Obliterated half the damage. Look at this. Midjoy doesn't seem to care. Here's Miss R for the counter initiation, but the damage from Midjoy. Echo Slam right to the face. Guardiola gets caught in there. Space created here for Where to Feed. As right now, Midjoy, oh my goodness, gets a kill on Shanicha. That's a huge kill in there. And Miss R. So that's 2 huge kills in there. Of course, the counter initiation was set at the perfect timing, but so far it didn't pay off as she was getting killed. Right now, Anti-Boy Boys Club activates her BKB, goes for the Sonic Wave, gets a kill in there on the Earthshaker. But of course, here comes who comes to the rescue. It's Cockery. Blinks in forward, out of nowhere, Midjoy with a dagger and the blink. Oh dear, Cockery doesn't seem to care. Gonna go to Guardiola. Let's see, one more hit, Guardiola goes down. There's the fountain, one more stun. Cockery blinks out of danger. Oh, she doesn't seem to care. The damage outburst. 5 down for Team Vengeance. Absolute obliteration, annihilation, operation out of nowhere. And look, tier 3 tower in the bottom lane's gonna go down with the racks as well. And oh dear, what can Miss R do? Nothing else she could do. But perhaps poach around here in the mid lane, but not gonna be efficient. She doesn't have the cover needed. I mean, the Manta style doing the damage here. Yeah, Miss R, yes, I do commend Miss R. She did the right moves in there. Charging further forward to annihilate the supports. I mean, Vengeance were targeting the supports, which is good, but it's just that Cockery and Midjoy were just too much damage output-wise. As Cockery gets pressed on there. Oh, the multicast on Miss R. Miss R in a lot of trouble here. Shanicha She likes Bell. She likes Yell. She's targeting Yell, but no, she always gets caught in the static and kinetic field. Shanicha, why are you always caught in there? But of course, Kakuri being too aggressive there pays the price for her over-aggression. That's Mijoy about to die in there. So far, manages to keep herself alive, nearly killed in there. Of course, one more charge of darkness as right now Anti-Boy Boys Club blinks in forward, but there's a glimpse back on Anti-Boy Boys Club. So that she won't provide that sort of additional further damage. Now Mijoy invisible. Oh, Echo Slam right to the face. Chizuru, oh my goodness, blinks in the tower in there, hides in there. Yell goes one-on-one with Miss R. Miss R gets killed. Yeah, actually, another obliteration. That was a desperation move for Team Vengeance there. They've already ripped apart the shreds by Where to Feed. I mean, the name Where to Feed is not applicable to them because they're not having a feeding program. Although we thought they're gonna, they do offer a feeding program for the poor against Team Vengeance early in the game, but so far it's not happening in the long term. And the timing of Chizuru, man, this Chizuru, since game 1, is just timing her Echo Slams in the most efficient of all fashion. Shani-cha doesn't get a kill in there. Oh, that's a poor play. Oh dear. She certainly would not like to see that again. TP right on her face. Reminds me of another player. Mijoy already venturing further forward. Going for the Abyssal Blade. Oh dear. That's... wow. Abyssal Blade, Desolator, Black King Bar. I'm not sure if your Vengeance, if you could see a sunlight to that item count. Perhaps you're gonna see darkness all over as Kakuri blinks out. But she might get pressed on Shanicha provided that vision. And of course, no, she doesn't blink out of here. Oh, if you get stunned in there, Kakuri in a lot of trouble. Sonic Waves to keep her dead. But while that was happening, the top lane already assaulted as Mijoy having a free farm. There's a Skull Basher. That's not gonna be good if your team Where to Feed because that Skull Basher. And combine it with the Bloodlust. Oh dear, my goodness gracious. Oh, Miss R caught in the middle of nowhere for the nth time. The timing was off, and there's a static and kinetic field to hold Shanicha. But Shanicha doesn't get held in there. Mijoy doesn't seem to care. Multicast set. Shanicha caught in there. Chizuru with the Echo Slam kill there. Now next on the target list, so far not yet. Shanicha already caught in the middle of nowhere for the nth time, and even if she wasn't caught in the middle of nowhere, gets killed as Kakuri just pressures, ventures in further forward. Look at this from Mijoy. There's a glimpse at Kakuri. Oh, the kill. That's an absolutely devastating kill in there. Miss R out of nowhere charges in, but she's gonna die again. That's another dieback. Chizuru keeps herself alive. Well, turns herself invisible to keep herself alive. Of course, too much damage output here. Team Vengeance forced a retreat. They do have the mobility to keep themselves away from the fight, but they don't have the damage to deal with Mijoy and the rest of the crew here. They're desperately trying to defend here, but it's not going to be effective. There's the static kinetic field. The timing was off. Glimpse back instead. Self-inflicted does inflict more damage on herself. The name does speak to her. But here, that barracks are broken. Mega creeps are out. Now a second straight game that Where to Feed has mega creeps. They say that this team has a Piso net in their structure, but so far the Piso net doesn't really affect them. It's making them win. Oh my goodness gracious. No, it doesn't work as Mika does manage to keep the space needed. Oh well, this is GG well played in here. Team Where to Feed 2-0 against Team Vengeance. Absolute annihilation in both two games in the late game. Oh dear, Where to Feed showing their dominance even with the Piso net connection that they have. Once again, this is Kenzie Wonderdriv signing off. This is the last game for today, and this is it for my stream. I'll announce when I'll be live for the next time. Anyway, goodbye. Have a sweet night there ahead of you, and have fun. Oh dear, that was done. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today. I'm gonna sign off. Remember, that's a female Dota 2 amateur league in the Southeast Asian region. I hope you guys had some fun. Till next time, I'm gonna log out in the Twitch, Steam, and even my OBS studio. Alright, good night, everyone.